Welcome back to the Realm of Inspiration. I am Castelia Theo, the Elfian Realm Communicator, and we are doing another episode of Meet the Domains of the Elfian Realm. In today's episode, we are meeting a very cosmic domain, the Cosmic Elfian Elemental domain, that is, and there's a lot of them. So this is what the Elder looks like. They all kind of look like this. They are the only domain that has never manifested into the physical form. So during the Atlantean Age and even before that, they never came into the physical form. Before the Atlantean Age, pretty much every other domain did come into the physical form for the most part. So they're the only ones that haven't. So they're very energetic, and they're the highest frequency of the Elfian realm other than the source. Obviously, it varies within them. The Elder is definitely one of the highest, but there are a lot. I'm just going to kind of read to you the different kinds from the books. These are the different kinds we'll be meeting. Lava, crystals, nectar, systematic, atmospheric, space is within higher frequency, time, divine light, cosmic energies, color frequency, and that's all of them. And there's a lot within them, so I don't know exactly how they're going to come through and explain themselves, but I'll let the Elder figure that out. I'm going to open this section like I always do, you know the drill, and I'm going to see if there's any kind of like basis for how they'll be talking, a little message from the Elder. Okay. So this is from the Elder. The third dimension was a step up from where the Earth was before. Being in that dimension then was not a bad thing. It showed progress. And that is what we called the Platinum Age, the beginning of moving forward. However, the rest of the Bronze Age came, and the physical world became all people could see. Fret not, because not too long after the Silver Age reached its infancy, that is where we are now, the transition to divine feminine control. Earth is now reaching the peak of the Silver Age where the divine feminine ruling is happening. The Silver Age does not mean that Earth already is in a divine feminine ruling, just that the Earth is transitioning, and the Silver Age will not end with the divine feminine control. So they're going to be talking about how they're going to help us transition in the Silver Age. So we'll let the Elder come through, and very power-heavy, power-dominant. Not necessarily in a negative way, but when it takes the negative way, it can be kind of create very power-hungry people, more controlling. Really what the divine masculine energy does bring is creation with freedom from control. The negative side of that is creation with dominant highlighting control. And that can, well, you know people of Earth. The divine feminine ruling is intuition and guiding people to become their own leaders in their own selves, and also to take less logical approaches to things. In the early ages of Earth, there needed to be more logic because Earth was still in an infancy state after the Atlantean Age. So there needed to be that more logical mindset to things, the more practicality. Now you're in the state where practicality got you thus far, there's nowhere else practicality can get you. So now you need to bring in that creativity. And there are a lot of different cosmic Elfian elementals that can help with that. So we'll start by letting them all come through. They're going to come through, they're going to introduce themselves, there's going to be a representative from each one, introduce themselves, a vague description of what they do, because there is quite a few different ones. We don't really come this close to the veil that often, so they're all very, very excited. So I'll start with Lava, and I'll be guiding them through for you all to get to know us a little bit. So Lava, step through. Hello, I am Divine Feminine Cosmic Heat Frequency. I work with the Lava. The Lava is the physical manifestation of the Cosmic Heat Frequency. The Cosmic Heat Frequency, at the birth of the universe, everything was kind of cool. There wasn't heat. So, and because there is no physical forms, heat isn't necessarily needed as much. When the cosmic heat frequency came in, it came through for the ushering in of action because everyone was kind of apathetic. They didn't want to do anything. They were very frozen. They were relaxed, calm, and peaceful. Then the energy of action came when Earth was created, and that's where the cosmic heat frequency comes from. And from the cosmic heat frequency, we have born the solar sun and the golden Christed sun, and from that also was born the cooler version of the cosmic heat frequency, but still a heat frequency, the lunar frequencies as well. Now for a crystalline Elfian elemental of selenite. Hello, I'm a divine masculine crystalline Elfian elemental of selenite, and I'm going to be explaining what the crystalline Elfian elementals do. What we do is we work with the crystals. Crystals are stardust. They're gifts from the Creator, the Source, and God to Earth. They're gifts to help all of you connect to spirituality, but they're cosmic frequencies. They have a origin. They have a group soul. They have a planetary, if you will, a planet. There are different planets. There are planets that house animal group souls and humans, and there are ones that house the crystalline frequencies and children of the tree of life. Different kinds of things. With the stardusts on Earth, the crystalline frequencies, we work with them when you set an intention with them. We make sure that the intention you're setting is working. You can call on us to make sure that the crystal is aligned in its chakras, because crystals have different chakras. They help you with chakras, but they have their own. We help to make sure that they're doing their work. If they're off balance, we try to balance them if you ask us for help. We also work to make sure that they're being created in the way that they need to. So we'll send the light from the star, of their star origins, to make sure that they're being created to match the demand of the souls that need certain ones, not the people. This isn't meant to match the people. And there are a lot of false crystals out there. So we also work to help you identify what is real and what is not. Because these simulated crystals, they simulate what you think. You can think that they're doing the work that they're meant to do, but they're not. And now a divine light is going to step through. So come through, my friend. Hello, I'm a divine light, Elfian elemental, divine masculine, and I'm going to explain the different kinds of light. Divine love is a frequency of light. It is light, it is powerful, it is infinite, and it can fill you and help you. The same way divine light, solar light, lunar light, all of these different lights. There are higher light frequencies. There's an Elfian elemental for every type of light frequency. Also, every type of flame. These combined Elfian elementals are of a way higher frequency, and they'll step through in the future eventually, but they're doing a lot more behind the scenes work right now before they step forth and offer guidance. The in-between is in between the cosmic heat frequency and the light frequency for the different levels of flames. So we have flame of truth, obviously, and there is also the violet flame, different kinds of flame, golden rainbow fire, all of these lights that are lights but also fires that work to help all of you. The elementals that work with these, they work to make sure that the light is coming when the light needs to come. There are elementals of it, so you can call on them to help you. We work with helping you understand how different light frequencies can help you. And with divine love, specifically, we work to help you understand what the frequency of love is, because the frequency of love is not cosmic, it's divine. There is a difference. In divine light, there's the golden Christed light. There are different levels of light. There's cosmic light, where you get the solar light and the lunar light. Divine light is higher, because divine light is the light that was used to create the soul of God, to create the soul of any guardian of any planet. Now for a time frequency elemental. Hello, I am a divine feminine time frequency elemental. Now with time, there are different levels of time. There is the time of past, the time of present, and the time of future. Time, how time works, we follow the astrological, we follow the moon, you follow the sun. We have switched to more lunar control. In the beginning, and I mean in the beginning, during your ancient times, we were following the sun as our way of measuring time for all of you. Laps around the sun, because the divine masculine was control, so the way that time was measured by the way of the divine masculine, by the solar frequency. Now we're switching to divine feminine control, so we're going to be switching to measuring time by the lunar frequency. And there were some civilizations that followed the lunar frequency more and still do. And it's important to start to learn how to follow it to measure your time. Measure your time by the way that the moon orbits, because the lunar frequency is where divine feminine is controlled. You start trusting the divine feminine more, you're calling it more in to be there for you. The switch to divine feminine control, we're switching from the Bronze Age to the Silver Age, to all these different ages and the different kinds of ages, which we can ask the communicator to read from the book to you after we're done explaining, because so many Elfians want to come and introduce what they do. I could be here all day explaining time to all of you. Time, the different ages of time are different phases of what the Earth and the collective Earth experienced. All the other planets, all the other souls, all the other etc. follow the Earth's time frame of expressing time to you. However, how we follow time is very different. When you transition out of the physical form, time works very differently. We go by different types of moon cycles. When you are waiting to incarnate on Earth, the different types of moon cycles that you will watch and follow. And this isn't the moon of Earth. It is all the moons in the solar system of Gaia Delta. So that means all the moons in the solar system of Gaia Delta. So we watch them all to see when all the moons are in different alignment states. When we became elementals of the time frequency, there's a lot of different things that we learned. We learned that you need to have something as a basis of measurement of the time, because time is infinite. Time can't be constrained. So to measure it, you have to watch how things pass, because there's a certain way of gravity in the way that the things work in the non-physical realm. You watch those things, how they work, the energy around them. You can also watch and work and see how different ascended masters go through their process. How long did it take them? How many moon cycles? You give a general description to, okay, you're going to ascend higher. Here is how long it may take you based on this element that we're using. We only use the suns or the moons because of the divine and feminine, our masculine's influence over time. Those are the only things that we really use to measure the time frequency. We don't work with your clocks. We don't work with fixing clocks or whatever things that the mythology created to make you think different things about us that are untrue. We don't do that. We don't work with the way that you guys constrain time. We say, it's either the sun is out or the moon is out. Here's what you do when the sun is out. Here's what you do when the moon is out. There is a reason, because of the yin-yang polarity frequency of how time is meant to work. And now for a nectar elemental. Hello, I'm a divine feminine nectar elemental, and I work with the different necessities that the souls of a planet may need. On Earth, your nectar elementals are the Earthian elementals, because that's how Earth works. But I work with the other planets. So I work with the solar frequency. I work with helping them transition. Here's a little fun explanation story that I'm going to try and explain in a quicker fashion, because I know that there are a lot of other Elfians that want to come through. So, let's explain. When a solar child leaves the sun or a lunar child leaves the moon, we go with them to make sure that they're keeping the solar energy with them when they go to their different housing planet. Also, when different group souls of animals leave their star origins, we help to make sure that they have the necessities that they need for taking care of their soul. So, when souls enter Earth that are not from the Earth frequency, we come with them to make sure that they have what they need to make sure that their soul is being taken care of, and thus their body is taken care of. Now for an atmospheric elemental. Hello, I'm a divine feminine atmospheric elemental, and I work with the atmospheric level of things. The atmospheric level of things are the things within our system. The balance of things within our system. I work with protecting things. Color frequency and sound frequency are knocking at the door to come through, so I'll get through this a little quicker. I work with shields of protections, working with things, the asteroidic frequency of cleansing any negative things that are creating too much of a wall. We work with things like that. We're kind of the protectors of the energy of the atmosphere of everything, of every planet in the system. and in the galaxy, etc., etc. Now let systematic come through. Hello, I'm a divine masculine systematic Elfian elemental, and I work with the levels between dimensions and systems. So systems means if there's a soul transitioning from one system to another, a soul that has a star origins in our system that wants to go help Earth in another system, I work with that. Also, I work when souls come to our system, and I help them. Also, what the systematic Elfian elementals do, what we all do, is we work with the dimensional frequencies and as you transition between dimensional frequencies. And so do the atmospheric elementals as well. Now for color frequency. Hello, I'm a divine masculine color frequency orange. I work with orange, and we just work with colors. We work to help you understand colors, and we work to elevate the power of colors because every color holds a meaning and a purpose and a different thing that they can do. And if you're activating a color frequency to do something, we work with that to help you. Now for sound frequency. Hello, I'm a divine feminine sound frequency Elfian elemental. Hi. I work with the sound frequency. Sound frequency as the power behind the sound of things that come out. Also the emptiness of sound, the fullness of sound, all of these different layers of sound. How sound works cosmically, how sound works physically. It's important for you to know that sound frequency can be positive and negative. We work with the positive, obviously. How it can turn negative is if it's meant to disbalance or activate a more animalistic desire inside of a person through sound frequency. So we urge you to pay attention to how you feel when you listen to certain musics. There are certain hertz that if you hit it in a certain way, hit an instrument in a certain way, or play it in a certain way, the certain sound that it emits releases a certain frequency that has a negative effect or positive effect on someone or something. So we work to help you understand that, and we work with all of you to kind of clean your ears a little bit. We work with the mental body healers to clear the mess of sound when the ego tries to distract your real mind, because the ego is not your mind. It's literally like a curtain. It's just like a sheet of curtain. That's all that it is. Your mind is your mind. Your mind is not your ego. So we work to kind of remove that curtain with the mental body healers, because the ego uses sound frequency to do that. The earworms, you know, when you're sitting and you hear music playing in your mind, but you're not listening to it, the ego is latching onto it to distract you from getting the messages you're meant to get for your soul's highest good. We're going to transfer you back to the elder now. Hello, Cosmic Elfian Elemental Elder here to discuss the remaining cosmic frequency things that we do as a cosmic realm. We work with divine light. We also are the bridge between divine, cosmic, and universal things. So universal things like universal tranquility, divine things like divine justice, cosmic things like the cosmic heart. So we have elementals of the cosmic heart. We have elementals of cosmic abundance that work with the frequency of abundance. We work with all of these different cosmic things that are not in the physical realm. We work with the atmospheric level to create little bridges between realms. That's why there are gateway planets. What we hope you all understand is that this, where you are, is very tiny, but your soul is infinite and powerful, and your soul could have traveled between many different systems. Is a space elemental that wants to talk. Hello, I'm a divine feminine space elemental, and part of what I do is I work with space and also maintaining healthy space, maintaining space in your aura, maintaining space in your soul, your chakras, the spaces between things and what goes there, also the space of peace. I work with the space between things. So when bridges are being created, I work to make sure that they're happening in a divine way that doesn't invade on other things. Why that is if a planet energetically invades on the other, there is a mesh of miscommunicated missions. Because the reason why souls go to certain planetaries is because of joint missions. Also with the suns, I work to make sure that the solar sun and the golden Christed sun never cross paths, never bridge together. Because again, that's a meshing of two different types of frequencies. So I make sure that the frequencies stay where they need to be. We also make sure within the polarity, we work with the warrior frequency a lot within the polarity to make sure that there is a clear divide with the gray area between the negative and the positive. We worked to create the gray area between the negative and the positive polarity so that there can be this space of kind of emptiness, of neutrality, We work with the neutrality of things. So we can help you go to a neutral place if you need be. We also work, again, with the space between the ego and your true mind. We work with the space in time. So we work very closely with the time frequency elementals when it comes to the different ages, the different types of ages, the different types of things, etc., etc. We work with them. So when they're measuring time and they need to know, okay, how much space is between when this moon moves to when this moon moves, we work with that. We work to help them understand that. Because as they mentioned, because I heard them mention it because I was listening, when they measure time, they watch all the moons in the system. So they watch all the moons of all the planets, not just Earth. So we also make sure that there's the space between how the planets move. We create that protection. We work with the atmospheric and the systematic to make sure that things are protected as a barrier, as different things. It's a little complex to explain in the human language because you would think atmospheric, systematic, and space, we all kind of do the same thing, but we don't in the same way. It's a different cosmic higher level, but if you in the future connect to any of us, we can explain it all to you. It is not something we can explain in a short time frame because it is massive, but one message I do need to deliver to all of you right now is to make sure that you're protecting your energetic space. So your aura, you're putting energetic shields to make your space safe. Your space that your energy is in, we work with that as well. We work with the nectar elementals, and of your planet, that's the nectar elementals, the earth elementals, to make sure that your energetic space, you set it to what you need it to be. When you're creating a space for healing, a space for whatever, anything with space in it, we're there. Not space is an outer space that you would think. Space is an actual space, a healing space, a workspace. These different spaces to create different, if you're in a room, you want to divide a room. You want to have one part of the room be a workout space, one part of the room be a workspace, one part of the room be a healing space. We can work with you to create these walls so that the energy doesn't bridge into each other, so you're not picking up other energies. We also work to make sure that your sleeping space is different from your working space, and so you can bring those different energies. Now back to the Elder. Hello, I am back to bring back the communicator and close out meeting the cosmic elementals. Okay. I knew that this was going to be intense with channeling cosmic elementals because they're higher frequency, and I knew it was going to be intense. So, they wanted me to read the ages. Oh, wow. Yeah, my soul is it goes to the sun during this stuff, and so it's with the cosmic elementals, it's a little safer to have all of them come through like that for me. So the concrete ages, the subject to change ages, those are the two different kinds of ages within the ages of time. The concrete are the ones that stay the same. So there are different phases of Earth, and there are different phases of the Earths. So there are the ages that are always there, the golden status ages, the silver age, etc. Those ones that always happen for Earths. And the subject to change ones are the ones that are specific to the period of Earth. So the ones that are, we have 9 of them that we've experienced as our Earth. And these are energetic ages, and they explain it deeper in the book, and obviously not as deep as they would like to because it's a very complicated thing. So I was like, how are the cosmic elementals going to explain what they do? I hope they did a good job. I know that they did. They always do. But it also can be harder for them to come through and communicate because they don't come down to Earth that much. It's very interesting, but they love to help. And if you really want to get a connection with the cosmic frequency elementals, crystals are the way to do it. They mention smell. I know that, and just because I'm remembering they've mentioned it. With the smell frequency, you can only smell in the physical form, and it's more of a 3D element of things. So, and speaking of the 3D element of things, I'm like in this like weird Zen state right now. For next video, we're gonna be meeting the Earth Elemental Elder and her domain. That's the last domain left for you all to meet, and it's not gonna be as intense. I mean, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of elementals, like so many didn't come through. So if you would like a deeper meeting elementals, if you would like to see a specific elemental come through and like really a whole like 20-minute, 30-minute video dedicated to what that elemental does or what those kinds of elementals do, if you would like to see that, let me know in the comments because I can do that with them. I will see you in the next Meet the Domains. Stay inspired, beautiful souls.